What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be covering one of the most highly requested topics that I've gotten probably in our 4 years of doing transfers, and that is our heat press recommendations. So for this video I'm going to be covering my 2025 heat press recommendations that I would give based on my experience. And you know, honestly, what stood out to me when I was doing all this research for this video and watching all these reviews and all these articles is that a lot out there was somehow sponsored or affiliated, or they were being paid. So let me just start first and foremost by saying that none of this is sponsored. No one's paying me to make this video. I am doing this solely just based on my recommendations, what I look for when I am buying a new heat press, and just what I've learned through my customers as well. Let me just start off by introducing myself so you guys don't think that I'm just some random person. My name is Mick. I am the founder and the head of production here at AMS Transfers. I have over 4 years of experience when it comes to business, apparel, and transfer. I have also been through many heat presses throughout my career. So I've definitely learned what is most important for my team and what I like to avoid when buying a new one. But let's just jump right into the video. I'm gonna break down these things based on where you are in your heat press journey, like if you're a beginner or maybe you're doing it for a small business. I get that everyone is not at the same level in the heat pressing world, so we're just gonna start off with beginners and then we're gonna go down the line from there. For each of the different users, I'm gonna cover some of the advantages as well as the disadvantages for each of the heat press. So we're just gonna first start off with the people who are honestly just hobbyists, the people who just wanna create shirts for their family or even themselves. And what I realize is that people in this category really emphasize affordability. I mean, that makes sense, right? You don't want to break the bank when you're just starting out, or you're just wanting to see what all the heat press hype is about. And on top of that, they do also stress the ease of use, because when nobody wants to wrestle with some complicated machine when you're literally just trying to make a cool t-shirt for yourself. Also, something to consider is that size does matter, if you know what I mean. Especially if you don't have a dedicated workshop or anything like that. If you're just starting off and you find yourself wanting to kind of have a more compact design that's gonna fit in a home setting, we'll go over some of that as well. And of course, safety issues like the automatic shutoff are a top priority. Trust me guys, I am someone who stresses if I turned off the curling iron when I left the house, so I understand that fear and wanting to just kind of have that ease of mind. And just to add, that versatility is a nice bonus at this stage, and being able to handle different materials like vinyl or sublimation or DTF transfers. You want to be able to open a bunch of creative possibilities when you're just starting out. And also just the convenience factor, being able to easily find these machines online, like on Amazon, it makes the whole process less intimidating. You don't have to go contact someone or get a salesperson to call you. It's just, you buy it, it's there. And you didn't like it, you return it. So let's dive in to some specifics for this category. I think probably first and foremost, the Cricut Easy Press is a great starting point, specifically the Cricut Easy Press 2. Many people might be familiar with Cricut, especially if you're in the crafting world. Cricut is a well-known name, and the Easy Press 2 seems to be a very popular choice for beginners. They do have a couple different size options. They have a larger one that is 12 by 10 inches if you want more working space, and they do have a smaller one that's just 9 by 9 inches if you're just a little tight on the workspace that you have. But what really sets this apart is the heating technology. They use this advanced ceramic coated plate. Reviews mentioned that it heats up super fast, like under 2 minutes, which is quite impressive. They also have a precise digital temperature control, adjustable time settings, and a really well-designed safety base with insulation. Plus, that automatic shutoff, like I touched on before, is just a great ease of mind. It shuts off, I think, within like 10 to 20 minutes if you haven't used it, and it makes a big difference when you're starting out. Honestly, it sounds like they've really thought about the user experience when creating the Easy Press 2. I mean, think about it, ease of use, good safety features, fast heating, customizable settings, it's all there. And as we mentioned, it is readily available on Amazon, or you can go to your local Michaels to find it, but there are some downsides when it comes to the Easy Press 2. There's actually a couple. It's a bit pricier than some of the absolute basic options out there. And while size options are good, you might find it still limiting if you're wanting to do much larger projects like back of t-shirts, or if you're wanting to do banners. Some users did mention that there was inconsistent heating across the plate, which if that is true, it is very frustrating. You are 100% reliant on the pressure you give it. So when it comes to like a clamshell heat press, like the one next to me, you aren't required to apply any body pressure on it. But when it comes to the Easy Press, it really is just overall your own body pressure. But overall, it does seem like a solid choice for beginners, especially if you're just willing to spend a little bit more for those convenience and safety features. The estimated price range is about $90 to $200, so it's definitely something to consider if you're getting serious about it. There is also the Easy Press 3, but honestly, just try to snag a deal on the used or refurbished Easy Press 2. You can find it for a cheaper price. They're not much different, and there's sales running all the time. Now, another option that caught my mind during my research and my reviews was the HTV Ront Auto Heat Press. It's a 15 by 15 inch, which is perfect for a heat press. That auto open feature sounds very intriguing, especially for beginners who might be a little bit more intimidated by the whole process. Anything that simplifies is a good thing when you're just learning. So again, it is a 15 by 15 inch auto open clamshell, and it comes in two versions, the Auto 1 and the Auto 2. And what's cool is that it automatically closes to apply the pressure and then pops open when the timer is done. So you don't have to worry about closing it or overpressing or scorching your materials, and it can even adjust the pressure automatically for the different thickness of fabric, but that's only up to a full inch, which is still very impressive. It also has a one button start, a digital display for setting the temperature and time, and it has very even distribution and again, quick heating. So convenience and precision seem to be key selling points here. And on the safety front, it does have that auto power off that after 10 minutes of inactivity, it will just shut off. So it's super user-friendly with that feature, and it's also very user-friendly in terms of it helps with the not overpressing and the correct temperature control. Also, something to note about this one is that the versatility is unmatched. It can handle sublimation, vinyl, various other heat transfer materials like DTF, screen prints. It really sounds like a very well-rounded machine. And you might be thinking, okay, Mick, what are all the drawbacks? Well, I do want to mention that it is quite a bit pricier than basic manual machines, which makes sense considering all the automation and all the safety features it comes with. The price range for this one starts at $199 and it goes to $350. So it's a bit more of an investment, but you are getting quite a lot for your money. Then there's also the heads up that some models have automatic shut off after 30 minutes of no use. So that's a safety feature, but something to be aware of if you tend to work on larger projects and longer periods of time. Some people didn't like that safety feature of the automatic shut off because they would have to turn it back on, wait for it to heat up. But again, that is just based on what you are looking for. Another great option for a beginner is the Fancier Studio Heat Press. Again, it's a 15 by 15, perfect size for a heat press. The Fancier Studio Heat Press, which is honestly, the name is quite ironic because it's actually portrayed as a more straightforward, no frills option. It's a 15 by 15 inch with the standard clamshell design. And what seems to stand out for beginners is that it's compact upward opening design. So it's really good for saving space, which is amazing if you're working in a smaller area like a home office or a kitchen counter. You're not going to be, taking up way too much space. It still has all the electronic controls for time and temperature and a replaceable silicone pad on the lower plate, which is a nice touch if you're trying to make the heat press last a long time. So easy to use, easy to maintain, compact, what is not to like? Well, you do need to note that it is a bit heavier. It's around 43 pounds, so it's not something that you're going to be able to transfer around or move around a lot. It's just going to be much heavier. It kind of has to stay in one space. On top of that, the reviews mentioned that getting the pressure just right might take a little bit of practice. A few reviews also mentioned that I saw that were quite interesting was that the color isn't going to appeal to someone who's looking for aesthetics or if you're looking for some cute color of heat press. But if it does its job well and it's affordable, hopefully the color wouldn't be something that would be a deal breaker for you, but you never know. The price for this press is in the affordable range between $160 and $200. So if you're looking for a more traditional manual press without breaking the bank, this could be a great solid option for you. Of course, like I said, it is available on Amazon, so there's no waiting for that buyer's remorse to set in. You can get it the next day. Guys, I'm just kidding. I know that I have given you guys so many choices and so many opinions, so make sure you're writing all this down. But the next one that I think that a lot of you are going to find interesting is the Vivo 5-in-1 Swing Away Press. 5-in-1. So that's gotta mean versatility, right? It's a 15 by 15 inch swing away press like a lot of the models we discussed, but the 5-in-1 part is what really sets it apart. It comes with attachments that are good for pressing onto hats, mugs, and even plates. So if you're a beginner who isn't exactly set on wanting to sell t-shirts and kind of wants to dabble in going beyond that, this opens up a world of possibilities. You can personalize on so many different things. What also makes it stand out is that it has precise digital controls, uses dual tube heating for even heat distribution, and that 360-degree swing away design is great for safety and easier positioning. Okay, so versatility, user-friendly, safety, what's the catch? There's always gotta be a catch. We gotta cover the downsides. Some have mentioned that the setup instructions might not be as detailed as some users would like, which I understand can be frustrating for someone brand new to this, but if you're someone who really doesn't mind getting your hands dirty, and I mean, if you're wanting to start a business, you're gonna have to be okay with that. I feel like this shouldn't be something that turns someone away, but there is just something to note. Another thing to note about it that I heard was just some potential minor cosmetic imperfections, nothing major, and the possibility that the top plate could become slightly uneven over time, which is an interesting take. But again, you have to take these reviews with a grain of salt because I feel like anyone or anything could have caused that plate to happen or cause a chip in the cosmetic imperfections. So that's just things you have to consider when you are looking at buying a heat press. However, one thing we should take away from this is that it's a swing away design, which does mean it requires a bit more space than just a clamshell. But considering the price and the versatility, it's definitely a tempting option. The price range for this one is $130 to $250, so it's quite affordable. And yes, you can find it on Amazon. I had one, I think that was like one of my very first starter ones, and it honestly opened so many doors. I was able to offer hats, I was able to offer mugs because we got a mug attachment to it. So I do recommend personally, if you're just starting out, look at those 5-in-1s, see what you can get for it. And the last one we're gonna cover for beginners, this one actually has a very interesting name. It's called the Royal Press Industrial Heat Press. Industrial for beginners sounds a little intense in my opinion, but it is actually positioned as quite beginner friendly despite the name. It's a 15 by 15 inch clamshell, but with a really clever pull away lower plate. So that keeps your hands away from the upper hot plate, which is this great safety feature. It also has a magnetic lock, automatic unlocking and opening with a timer, Teflon coated aluminum heating plates, and a digital display with a memory function. So you can save your preferred settings and you can save your preferred temperature. The biggest highlights are the safe pull-away design, the simple controls, and the affordability. It's around $165, and the overall durable build quality is outstanding. So safety, ease of use, good price. It sounds like a great starter option. The only real downside that I heard about this one after watching reviews and research is that the aluminum heating plates might take a little bit longer to reach the desired temperature. So this is another one where a little bit of patience may be required, but I feel like we could all use some extra practice in our patience. Am I right? But overall, it seems like a very solid choice for beginners, especially with that emphasis on the safety. So there's a lot to consider for those who are just starting out, and it's great to hear that there are so many different options that are gonna fit your needs and budgets, and we've covered quite a few that are perfect for those taking their first steps into the heat pressing world. But now let's say that you've been bitten by the heat pressing bug, you're making personalized items for your friends, your family, and maybe you're even thinking of getting that Etsy store started. That exciting next step, you might be asking what changes in terms of what we should be looking for a heat press. Well, affordability is still important, but now durability becomes a much bigger factor. If you're using it more frequently, it needs to be able to withstand multiple presses, long days, etc., etc. Not only that, but the ability to handle a wide range of transfer types, including DTF, screen print transfers, all of that. That becomes way more important as you're offering a more variety in your products. On top of all that, a reliable warranty and a customer support system becomes very crucial. You don't want to be left hanging if something goes wrong with your equipment, especially if it's your livelihood now. So some of my recommendations for this home-based business stage, and we're gonna start off by the Pro World semi-auto heat press. And you know, Pro World has a really good reputation in the industry, especially for their customer service, which is so important for small businesses. presses. Let's get into more about this press though. It's a 15 by 15 auto open clamshell, but with a really cool slide out drawer feature. This is a huge plus for the safety features because it allows you to position your garment or your item without putting your hands directly under the hot plate. Trust me guys, I've been there, I've burnt my hand, I've burnt my arm, I've done everything. It's not something fun and it kind of just ruins the experience. But it also has an auto open feature that helps to prevent overpressing, which is crucial for consistent quality across a whole job. The pressure is adjustable so it can handle HTV, it can handle sublimation, infusible ink, DTF transfers. It covers a lot of the bases. But we can't forget to mention some of the downsides. And what are the downsides about this, you might be asking? And really the only con that is mentioned is that the pressure adjustment knob is a bit awkwardly placed. Again, I don't know if that would be an end-all be-all for me, but overall, it's described as a great value for a 15 by 15 inch press. It has the auto open, the slide out. I mean, I don't think that an awkwardly placed knob is something that would set me running from it. It is mainly only available through Pro World. They're distributors, so you're gonna have to go through them. It's not gonna be on Amazon, but a good price, the safety, the versatility, and it's backed up by a company that's known for great service. I mean, there's nothing bad about that. Minimizing downtime and ensuring consistent quality are gonna be paramount for businesses, and these features do contribute to directly reaching those goals. So it sounds like a complete winner. Now, another one that is recommended is the Swing Design 15 by 15 inch Pro Slide Out Heat Press. And that name kind of gives it away right away. It's another slide out drawer for safety. So like I said, you don't have to mess with the top plate. It just slides out. You put your garment on, slide it back. Your arms don't have to get anywhere near the heating plate. It's a feature that a lot of heat presses are going to emphasize because it has been found to be very important. So this clamshell design with that slide out base, and while there's not a lot of information or mentions super deep into the specifics of the digital controls, it is a pro model, so I feel like that we should assume it has good precision. What else there is to know about this one? Well, they do mention that some color options tend to sell out fast, which might indicate that it has high demand or potential delays, and it is also pricier than basic clamshells. This one typically is pricing between $300 and $400, but if you're prioritizing your safety and ease of use, especially if you're planning to do longer production runs, this might be worth the investment. This one is available on Amazon as well as the Swing Design website, so you can again just go purchase it, have it in your arms tomorrow. Order it from their website if you're looking for those specialty colors that everyone was talking about being sold out. All right, moving on to the HPM Black Series 15 by 15 inch auto open high pressure heat press. That is quite a name. That high pressure makes it sound very serious, and honestly it is. This one is built for those more demanding transfer types, especially DTF and screen print transfers, which require a lot of pressure for proper adhesion and durability. So if you're planning to offer those kind of products, this could be the way to go for you. It has that auto open feature for efficiency and to prevent the scorching of materials. Plus, they have improved the pressure adjustment knob so you can really fine tune it to different applications and better results on thicker items due to that improved pressure adjustment. They also added a safety dual fuse, which is again just something that people have seemed to really appreciate. The other notable features is that it, like I said, has that dual fuse added for electrical safety. The price point on this one, it starts at around $550 and it goes to $650, so it is a step up in price. But if you're serious about DTF transfers or screen print transfers, that high pressure and the auto open features could really elevate the quality and efficiency of your work. You can find this one on Amazon as well, or you can go to Heat Press Nation. They have them on there as well. Okay, so we've looked at some really solid options for the home-based business stage as well as the growing business stage, but let's fast forward a little bit and imagine that your business is really taking off, and maybe you're moving into a warehouse, and maybe you're handling bigger orders and you need equipment that can keep pace. What's the landscape going to look like for those types of businesses? And that actually changes quite a bit. At this point, durability becomes absolutely paramount. You need a machine that can handle the volume day in and day out, like a workhorse Consistent high pressure is going to be essential for professional quality on all your orders, and efficiency features become even more important so you can meet those deadlines, keep your team running, and run a well-oiled machine. Swing away designs are often the preferred choice at this stage because they offer a clear workspace, the reliable. Let's face it, when your business depends on the equipment, there are some big things that you are going to want to look out for. So let's go into some heat presses that are big recommendations for the small business stage. Let's start with a classic, the Geonite DK Digital Knight. Geonite is known for making some of the most durable heat presses out there. Their reputation is legendary when it comes to this. This particular model is a 16 by 20 inch swing away press, and it's built like a tank. Heavy duty, solid steel construction. It has accurate digital controls, but the real game changer for a busy business is the ability to store up to 70 programmable presets. Yes, 70 presets. That is a huge time saver. If you're doing repeat orders or you're working with different materials all the time and you can just set and recall your save settings and ensure the consistency every time, that's like game changing. They really emphasize that when they're talking about this heat press, the reliability, the solid construction, and those presets. And on top of that, the safety of the swing away design. It's an absolute beast. But there are a few things to keep in mind. One of the biggest things that I saw is that it usually ships via drop ship only, so there's going to be quite a wait. So factor that into your planning. If you want to get it overnight, that's going to be impossible. Another big thing I saw is that the stand is sold separately, which does add to the cost. And you might be asking, what is the cost? And this one starts at $1,850. So it is a significant investment. But if you're looking for long-time reliability and consistent professional results, especially for those that are doing DTF, screen print, the Geonite is worth considering. Finally, we have another heavy hitter in the small business category, and that is Stahl's Hydronix Max 15 by 15 high pressure heat press. I mean, Stahl's is a name that anyone in the garment industry or decoration industry or transfer industry, you guys know, you respect them. Their reputation for quality and reliability is top notch, but their Max series is designed to deliver that consistent high pressure that you need for durable, professional looking transfers. It has precise digital controls for time and temperature, and it is known for even heat distribution across the whole platen. So peace of mind you get knowing that you're getting consistent results. The reviews for this heat press did point out that the high pressure that this heat press provides is excellent when it's going to adhere a transfer and for the overall reliability of the Stahl's brand as its key strengths. Now, of course, quality and reliability usually come at a price. So what's the damage going to be for this one? The price range is between $800 and $1,200. So again, it's definitely an investment. But if you're a small business that is serious about their brand and delivering consistently high quality products, then the Stahl's press could be a real game changer for you. You can find them on Amazon through Stahl's directly or their authorized dealers. All right, so we've covered all the big heat presses. We've covered actually a lot of ground today. I know that this has been a lot of information, so you guys can always ask if there's anything else. We've looked at a lot of heat presses that are tailored to every stage of the journey, from the absolute beginners to the small businesses, and it's honestly been quite fascinating to see how priorities shift as your needs and your ambitions evolve. But hopefully that this deep dive gives you kind of a more clear of what you should be looking for as a business owner or as a hobbyist when it comes to the heat press. I know that a lot of these are quite big investments, but sometimes when you're starting a business or you're needing to take that next step in your business, you do need to start making the right investment. So hopefully this video at least points you, or at least starts to point you in the right direction. But you really just have to decide what is going to work best for you, what is going to work best for your business. And also, I know that price sometimes does play a factor, so you can also take that into consideration. But even in the budget-friendly options, there's a ton to consider and a ton of different safety features and a ton of different disadvantages even to look at. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video and it was somehow helpful to you. But if you guys are interested in seeing more about the transfer business or kind of what it looks like to run ours, you can check out all of my vlogs below. I vlog Monday through Friday daily. Every day is different. If you are looking for transfers yourself, you can go to amstransfers.com. We do sell UV, we sell screen prints, and we sell DTF. So make sure you guys check it out there. But I will see you guys on Monday for your daily vlog.